the headlines, the heroes. They all start for the pro football player under a hot July sun. And in the training camp of a new team like the Miami Dolphins, both veterans and rookies alike are critically watched, tested, and rated. Starting from scratch, the Dolphins drafted from the other American Football League clubs, signed college All-Americans and free agents, and have put together a roster that many experts rate as strong in personnel as any expansion team ever. Now the long, laborious task of learning plays, studying defenses, memorizing the moves of new teammates, adjusting to a new coaching staff, all leading up to the excitement of opening night in Miami. The pretty girls, the bright lights, and the men who will represent the city of fun and sun on the football field. They all come under the watchful eye of veteran coach George Wilson, who has the job of blending 40 athletes of diverse backgrounds into a smooth-running football team. Six-year pro Dick Wood is Coach Wilson's starting quarterback for the opener, and TV star Danny Thomas, co-owner of the Dolphins, is here to root the young team on as they entertain Oakland in the first regular season American Football League game in the South. The Dolphins' debut must go down in football history as the most thrilling first play ever made by any new team anywhere. Joe Auer from nearby Coral Gables High School and a Georgia Tech alumnus takes the opening kickoff and races 95 yards for a touchdown. The season is only 15 seconds old, but the Miami fans are electrified, and Danny Thomas is breathless after running the last 50 yards with Auer. Gene Mingo adds the extra point, and the Dolphins' entry into the AFL is a hint of the wild and unpredictable season to follow. Miami has their first official 7 points. However, opening night is not all a hometown picnic. Oakland scores a pair of touchdowns and a field goal, but the Dolphins won't give up. Defensive end Mel Branch recovers a Clem Daniels fumble on the Raiders' 5. The Dolphins' top draft choice, All-American quarterback Rick Norton, hits veteran Rick Caceres with a screen pass, and the Miami fullback follows a crashing block by tackle Norm Evans for the Dolphins' second score of the game. Evans, number 73, is considered one of the top blocking linemen in the league and has a bright future with Miami. Another AFL headline is written by the Dolphins' Wahoo McDaniel, who blocks the first extra point missed in the league in over a year. The Dolphins lose their opener, but serve notice they'll not be a pushover for any team. After a 5-point loss to the New York Jets, the Dolphins travel to Buffalo for a battle with the winless Bills. For the defending champions, this is a must game, and Buffalo stampedes to an unbelievable 41 points in the first 20 minutes. Despite the one-sided score, the Dolphins keep pounding away. Watch this razzle-dazzle as Tom Erlinson tips a Jack Kemp pass into the arms of Wahoo McDaniel. Hey, let's try that one once again. The interception sets the Dolphins up on the Bills' 6, where George Wilson Jr. makes his first regular season appearance at quarterback. The coach's 23-year-old son teams up with rookie receiver John Roderick, and the Miami comeback is underway. The speedy Roderick is one of only 3 rookies in the Dolphins' starting offensive and defensive lineup. This is rookie Howard Twilley, who is gaining the experience needed to eventually rate as a top-flight receiver. 3 first-year men combine on a 25-yard pickup as Wilson pegs to Twilley. Twilley laterals to Wes Matthews, the Dolphins' smallest player at 5'7", 159 pounds, and he fights to the Buffalo 16. Wilson, who threw only 2 passes as a senior at Xavier University, completes his 10th of this game to Dave Kasurek. The Dolphins' offensive captain scores, but the late Miami fireworks are not enough to offset Buffalo's fantastic start, and the Dolphins have dropped their 3rd straight. As the Dolphins visit San Diego, George Wilson Jr. is the starting quarterback after passing for more than 180 yards and 3 touchdowns against Buffalo. The Dolphins are leading the Chargers in the first half when Wilson is injured and is forced to leave the ball game. Veteran Dick Wood receives the warm-up call and soon gets his chance when John Hadel's long aerial is picked off by Pete Jackwis. 30-year-old signal caller looks for another of the Dolphins' fine receiving corps, Carl Noonan. The rookie, who rates as the top pass catcher in Iowa University history, makes a clutch catch, bouncing off the goal post. It's not all offense in the first half, as the Dolphins' defense smothers the Charger attack. San Diego can gain only one first down, a total of 11 yards rushing, and just a single first down passing against the veteran Miami defenders. When the league's new club gets possession, look for something wild to happen. Watch fullback Rick Caceres make a juggling one-handed grab of this Dick Wood toss. Caceres shows why he was one of the greatest ground-gaining backs in the history of the Chicago Bears. However, the fired-up Chargers pull the game out with some heads-up play. Notice the position of San Diego's Steve DeLong as Dick Wood pulls the snap away. The 255-pound tackle crashes into Wood, causing the ball to pop into the waiting hands of the Chargers' Rick Redmond. There's clear sailing ahead as Redmond rambles 54 yards for the touchdown, and the Chargers take a 44-10 verdict over Miami. Prospects are bright for the Dolphins' first victory as Denver invades the Orange Bowl. Miami is counting on hometown hero Joe Auer to lead a strong rushing attack against the Broncos. The Dolphins' scoring machine goes right to work. 236-pound fullback Billy Joe reaches high for a George Wilson screen pass and then takes off on a 67-yard scoring jaunt. Watch the 4-year veteran from Villanova direct traffic as number 52, Mike Hudock, runs escort duty, aiding John Roderick block a Bronco tackler. Kasurik races in to help, but Joe breaks free at the 30 and seems to gain momentum as he huffs and puffs the final yard. A spectacular gallop by 1963's AFL Rookie of the Year, and it looks like this might be quite an afternoon for the Dolphins. The Broncos try some passing of their own, but Ed Cook puts the pressure on Denver's John McCormick. This causes McCormick to throw to Miami's defensive captain, Tom Erlinson. The Dolphins stay on the ground for 8 consecutive plays. This is Joe Auer swinging around right end of the Denver 1. Again, the call is for Joe Auer, and number 32 leaps, twists, and falls with the ball over that final chalk mark. Let's take another good look at the Miami defense, a phase of the game that, because of its intricacies, is often difficult for a new team to put together. Number 80 is Big Ed Cook. Number 86 is Mel Branch. Now watch Mel and Ed team up to put this Bronco to bed. Number 76 is the biggest Dolphin, Tom Nomina. The front four's undaunted pressure forces a bad pass, and Dick Westmoreland steals one of 4 Miami interceptions of the game. George Wilson Jr. hands off to Joe Auer, who turns the left corner for the 6-pointer, ensuring the Dolphins' first American Football League victory, 24-7. It's an evening for celebration in America's fun capital, and no one is more proud of his squad or happy to get that first win than head coach George Wilson. In an effort to strengthen their squad, the Dolphins add 3-time All-Pro Cookie Gilchrist to the roster. The former AFL rushing champion joins Miami in time for a trip to Houston. Flanker Bo Robeson is back after missing 3 weeks with an injury. The first time the former Ivy Leaguer touches the ball, Bo sprints 80 yards for a touchdown. Here's true poetry in motion as Robeson cuts around tacklers. Takes advantage of Carl Noonan's block. And is untouched all the way. It's a great run for the speedy veteran who has more than 150 receptions in his pro career. The Dolphins keep up their successful aerial attack. Howard Twilley, who holds more collegiate passing records than any other player in football history, is becoming a favorite target of Miami quarterbacks. With their second consecutive win within sight, the Dolphins pour it on. Rick Norton spots number 2, Cookie Gilchrist, all alone, and the combination boosts the Dolphins to a 2-touchdown lead at halftime. The visitors add 6 points on 2 Gene Mingo field goals. Then stop the Oiler attack by picking off 4 George Blanda passes. Dick Westmoreland grabs this one from Charlie Frazier. Late in the game, Blanda winds up and throws as far as that 38-year-old arm can fire. But it's a little too short, and Willie West is there to make his 3rd steal of the afternoon, killing off a final Houston threat. Miami completely dominates the Oilers, rolling up more than 300 total yards, and the league's newest team now boasts a 2-game winning streak. A visit by Buffalo results in a 29-0 defeat, and the Dolphins hope to regain the winning touch as they board their United flight to invade Kansas City. Road trips are always tough, and the players like to relax and try not to worry about the upcoming game. Whether playing cards, reading, or just talking, offensive captain Dave Kasurik and linebacker Frank Emanuel pass the time away and enjoy the pleasant scenery. 8 out of 9 teams fly with United, and they work their way through a busy road schedule. The Dolphins know the opposition is probably the best in the league, and it will take a top-flight performance by each of the visitors to leave Kansas City with a victory. Both teams play a wide-open game, and George Wilson will have to have his throwing arm in good shape. The Chiefs' Otis Taylor is among the league's leading receivers. Kansas City romps to an early advantage with such plays as this fantastic run by Taylor. Number 89 shakes off Bob Neff and then starts his long-legged sprint down the sideline. Dick Westmoreland has a shot at Taylor, but the speedy 200-pounder steps away from Dolphin defenders and then dances around Pete Jacquis. It's touchdown bound for Taylor, and look who's leading the interference. Number 16, quarterback Lenny Dawson, who threw the pass to Taylor to start this 89-yard scamper. Now the Dolphins show some ball hawking. Jim Warren leaps in front of Taylor and races 70 yards down the sidelines. The former Illinois halfback, who was a hero in the 1964 Rose Bowl, is untouched during this end zone express. Now comes a play that jolts the Dolphins. George Wilson pegs to Howard Twilley. Watch Fred Williamson and his famous hammer tackle upset Twilley. The rookie receiver, who caught an NCAA record 134 passes as a senior in Tulsa, suffers a broken jaw and is out for the season. Not only do the Dolphins lose Twilley, but they drop the game to Kansas City 34-16. At Shea Stadium, the Dolphins play before their biggest crowd of the season, more than 58,000. A pair of Gene Mingo field goals boost Miami to an early lead over the Jets. The Dolphins are trailing when they pull a spectacular play. Watch Frank Jackson miraculously hang on to the ball in what must be labeled the circus catch of the year. The Dolphins battle back for another score as Joe Auer beats the Jet secondary on a post pattern, but Miami goes down to the tune of 30-13. It's back home again for the Dolphins and about with Boston. Miami is proud of its first-year linebacker, Frank Emanuel. The Tennessee All-American is pitted against the American Football League's best, Jim Nance. Emanuel, who once made 17 unassisted tackles for the Volunteers against Kentucky, holds his own while getting acquainted with the league's Player of the Year. Emmanuel is strong, has good pursuit, and usually gets to the ball carrier. All important characteristics for a middle linebacker. The 23-year-old Dolphin also likes to drop back and swipe passes, as he does against the Patriots' Babe Parilli. But the Patriots are still fighting for the Eastern Division title and have too much for Miami. One of the Dolphin eye-openers develops as Dick Wood fires to Carl Noonan. The 6'3" rookie receiver laterals to Joe Auer, who is trailing the play. Noonan then throws a block that stalls both Nick Buonaconti and Ron Hall as Auer refuses to be caught and goes in for the score. But Boston squeezes out a close 20-14 win over Miami. Coach George Wilson's club could score only one touchdown, losing a rematch with Denver 17-7. The Dolphins are back in Miami, entertaining the Western Division champion Kansas City Chiefs. Cornerback Dick Westmoreland gives Len Dawson a Florida welcome by picking off one of his passes and vaulting the hosts into an early lead over the Chiefs. Defensive end Ed Cook watches intently as the Dolphin offense continues to roll. Joe Auer, who has taken over as Miami's leading ground gainer, provides the impetus for another drive with a 41-yard dash around right end. Culminating the series, the Dolphins set up a scoring play perfectly. Note a handoff to Sam Price off tackle, gets a few yards, and tightens the Kansas City defense. Now watch a fake to Price on what looks like the same play, but quarterback Dick Wood keeps the ball and bolts around left end for the touchdown. It's interesting to note that in 12 previous games, the Chiefs outscored their opponents 141-30 in the first quarter, but are held without a point by the Dolphins. However, the Kansas City attack is too powerful to be dormant very long. Offensive tackle Maxie Williams watches a Kansas City scoring play develop. The Dolphin defense is drawn to the right by a Dawson fake, allowing fullback Kirk McClinton to burst through a big hole. Number 79, tackle Al Dotson, recovers from the fake, but is taken out of the play by Jim Tyra's block, and McClinton is off on a 49-yard scoring gallop. It takes two late touchdowns by the Super Chiefs to barely nip Miami 19-18. Number 24 is Kansas City defender Fred Williamson. In the final moments, a Dick Wood pass is grabbed by the Chiefs' controversial cornerback, and the chase begins. Many of the Miami players criticized Williamson for his hammer tackle that put Howard Twilley out for the season, and Fred knows that he's a marked man. Little Frank Jackson is the first to get his hands on Williamson, and others come in to help. Flags drop. The officials try to break up the fight. Number 55, E.J. Holub, in the middle of the squabble, looks like a peacemaker. Nobody is hurt, and it turns out to be a wild finish to a close game. The Dolphins' premier season closes in the Orange Bowl, where it all started back in September. A rematch with Houston gives Miami prospects of another win. Unheralded John Stofa is the Dolphins' fourth starting quarterback this season. Trailing 14-0, Stofa begins to find the range. Behind the perfect blocking, the 24-year-old from the University of Buffalo picks out Joe Auer, and the Dolphins' most valuable player outruns the Oilers' secondary for the touchdown. The Dolphins catch Houston napping on the important conversion attempt. After a fake kick, George Wilson finds Billy Joe open in the end zone and hits the target for the crucial 2 points. Stofa keeps the blue-shirted Dolphins moving. Split end Frank Jackson works free and is headed for home. Jackson, by the way, is one of only 2 receivers in American Football League history to score 4 touchdowns in a game. Even Flipper joins the fun. Stofa hurls his 3rd scoring aerial of the game, this one to another new face, tight end Bill Cronin. Willie West, voted Miami's top defensive back, paces on the sidelines as the Dolphins need a touchdown to win in the final minute and a half. Stofa pitches to Cookie Gilchrist, and the veteran shows some of his all-pro form as he barrels over tacklers for important yardage. A minute and 9 seconds to play. The Dolphins trail by 6 points. The young quarterback wants to throw. He finally spots Frank Jackson open and completes his 21st pass of the game. This one from 39 yards out to the Oiler 14. With 38 seconds showing on the clock, Stofa sends all his receivers out, then flips a short one to Joe Auer on the 12. The Dolphins scoring leader streaks into the end zone. And after Gene Mingo's extra point, Miami pulls out a 29-28 squeaker over Houston. The Dolphins' third win of the season puts Miami on record with as many victories as were ever achieved by a first-year expansion team in pro football. And the Dolphins know more victories will come, and soon. Building for the future with young players like Howard Twilley, John Roderick, Joe Auer, Rick Norton, Frank Emanuel, and Norm Evans, plus such college standouts as Michigan's versatile All-American end Jack Clancy. Throwing blocks is not Clancy's only forte. The Wolverine receiver gained over 1,000 yards in 1966 and rates as the greatest pass catcher in Michigan history. This is Arkansas's All-Southwest Conference quarterback, John Brittenham. The 6-foot, 180-pounder, signed by the Dolphins, has passed for more than 2,500 yards in his 3-year career, leading the Razorbacks to a pair of Southwest Conference titles. Topping the list of Dolphin future stars is Purdue's Bob Greasy. The Boilermaker All-American is considered the finest passer in Purdue history. Here is one of his greatest moments, leading the Boilermakers to a 25-21 upset of Notre Dame in 1965. Greasy connects with Jim Finley for 32 yards. Needing a touchdown for victory with less than 5 minutes to play, Greasy pegs to Jim Byrne for a 13-yard pickup. All the coolness and poise of a hardened pro, Greasy moves Purdue inside the 10 with a perfect bullet again to Jim Byrne. From the 3, the Greasy-led drive culminates in success, and the young quarterback gains national fame with his running, passing, and punting. And now is a perfect time to order your season tickets and join thousands of South Florida fans as they look forward to watching Bob Greasy and other young Dolphin stars in 1967.